All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to this week's NASCAR Quick Hit for SHIPIT Nation. This week, we are breaking down the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Before we dive into today's slate, let's of course do a little bit of our promoing and bookkeeping to kick off the show. If you haven't already been aware, we have a brand new promo code for this week. It is Masters 15. That's right. Join for the players, stay for the Masters. The players tournament is happening right now. Round 3 actually just wrapped up, and round 4 will be kicking off tomorrow as I record this video. So if you join SHIPIT Nation now and use code MASTERS15 to get 15% off. You'll get all of our content for the Masters. So that's projections, ownership, course fit, tier rankings, core and value reports, player pool, slate plans, the Stone, which we'll be using today for NASCAR, showdown slates, the PGA education course, everything for PGA. If you would join the PGA only plan, with code MASTERS15. All right, MASTERS15. Join for the players, stay for the Masters. All right, let's go ahead and break down today's slate, which is the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway. We have 500 laps up for grabs today, which is 350 total Dominator points. All right, so 350 total Dominator points are up for grabs on DraftKings, and friends, we want to grab all of those points that we possibly can. All right, so I'm probably playing at least 2. I'm gonna try to jam in 3 potential Dominators in each of my lineups. And one thing I want to mention for SHIPIT Nation members, this week on the Stone, we have updated the high upside color category to be our Dominator category. So our drivers that we consider to be potential Dominator planes will now be color coded in teal on the Stone. So that is new for this week. And as well as starting next week on the Stone, we will have a recent form column just to track the drivers as they progress throughout the season. All right. Let's see here. What did I miss? Yes, of course. Race start time, 3:30 p.m. on Fox here in America. And for our friends in Canada, channel change, TSN4 in Canada this weekend. Okay, so 3:30 p.m. on Fox and 3:30 p.m. on TSN4. All right, let's go ahead here and bring up the Stone, or rather the blank version that I use for our videos of the Stone. Yeah, and I'll break down some of my favorite drivers and plays for today. One thing I did want to mention before I break down some drivers is this is only the 3rd proper next gen race here at Bristol. And you might be asking yourself, what do you mean by proper? Well, NASCAR comes to Bristol twice a year. And Bristol, I would consider, is a crown jewel of NASCAR. It is one of my personal favorite tracks, and I would say it's the favorite track of a lot of diehard NASCAR fans. However, in 2022 and in 2023, for some reason, they, meaning NASCAR and the folks who own Bristol Motor Speedway, decided they wanted to bring in dirt. And they covered Bristol Motor Speedway with dirt for the spring race in 2022 and 2023. And we can't really count any of that data because they were racing on dirt, a whole different surface. So we only have 2 proper next gen races here at Bristol to look back on, but I think they should give us a pretty big insight on what to look out for on Sunday. All right, drivers who we some of my favorite drivers of the slate. As always, I'm just going to pick out 4. And if you have any questions on any drivers or anything like that, of course, I will be in the Discord. I am TheGame on Discord. I will be in the Discord and be available all day on Sunday. All right. My first play, favorite play of the weekend, and it's kind of like I'm cheating, is Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, 10,500 on DraftKings, 12,000 on FanDuel, has qualified on the pole for today's race. And if you are looking at my screen here, you will see he was also the fastest in every single portion of practice: the 1, the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, and the 25. Now, one thing I do want to mention about the practice speeds here is the first practice group, Group A, did have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to when it came to practice. So while I don't want to say all of these speeds are skewed, definitely the drivers that practiced in Group B did have a little bit of a disadvantage. And I think starting next week, now that I'm literally looking at this, I think I'm going to color code these drivers on the right side of the stone. Which you currently can't see on my screen share. But I'm going to be color coding the drivers on the right side of the stone next week with their practice group that they're in, Group A or Group B. So that way we have that data moving forward. But anyway, Ryan Blaney qualified on the pole and was fastest throughout all of practice. He also has fairly good track history here at Bristol in the next gen car. However, he really doesn't have finishes to go for it, or to show for it rather, as he's always ran into bad luck. However, he starts on the pole. What does that give us? The very best pit stop, rather the very best pit stall selection. And at Bristol, we're running laps, as you can see here, in the 15-second range. Okay. So it's almost 4 laps a minute. Cars go a lap down very, very quickly here at Bristol. And one way to avoid that, or to avoid getting caught up in any of the accidents that happen at such a small track, is to be out in front, which is where Ryan Blaney will start on Sunday. So I'm going to say Ryan Blaney is probably my favorite Dominator play for Sunday. There's a few others I also like as well, but with his price tag being not as expensive as the other high tier drivers like Larson, Hamlin, or Bell, and starting on the pole with that first pit stall, it's shaping up to potentially be a pretty good day for young Ryan Blaney. The next 2 drivers I want to speak about didn't have the best of days with qualifying, and that would be one Chris Buescher, who qualified 34th, and one Ross Chastain, who qualified 36th. Now, one thing I will want to show with both Buescher and Chastain is their practice speeds do not match where they qualified. Since I'm highlighting Chastain right now, you'll see his practice speeds were 4th in the 1, 3 in the 5, 2 in the 10. Then he qualified 36th. Chris Buescher was 12th in the 1, 9th in the 5, 8th in the 10, and qualified 34th. Both of these drivers almost lost control of their cars during their qualifying lap, and they had to get out of the gas during their qualifying lap to save it from hitting a wall. That's why they are both starting in 34th and 36th position. For you cash players out there, I normally don't like to recommend drivers who start in the back at Bristol, but I feel like Ross Chastain is probably going to be your cash play of the day. He starts dead last, so he won't lose you any place differential points. 8,500 bucks. Trackhouse Racing's a great team. Yeah, he should be a lock for your cash games, and the same really goes for Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher has fantastic history here at Bristol. Led 169 laps here in the summer race of 2022 to a victory. And finished, I believe he finished, let's see here. Where did he finish? Yeah, I forget where he finished in 23, but he did lead 169 laps and win here in the summer of 2022, Chris Buescher. Are they going to be chalky? Absolutely. If you're in GPPs, should you potentially go underweight on both of these plays? Sure. However, they are stellar drivers. They are starting in the rear. And for all intents purposes, they should be able to work their way through the field. But this is Bristol. You never know what could happen. Then the final driver I want to highlight this week is a driver who hasn't necessarily had the best of luck here at Bristol lately, or really the best of luck in general at Vegas or Phoenix, and that would be Kyle Busch. At one time in NASCAR history, Bristol was absolutely Kyle Busch's playground. Throughout Kyle's career, he has 8 victories in the Cup Series here at Bristol, followed by 5 second place finishes here at Bristol. That's just in the Cup Series. That's not counting trucks, which he is racing right now as I am recording this video, or the Busch Series. All right. So that is he has been amazing here at Bristol in the past. Hasn't been so great here in the next gen car. However, we only have 2 races really for our sample size for the Bristol next gen track history. He was good in practice, 2nd in the 1 lap ranks, 7th in the 5 lap, and he qualified middle of the road in 15th. If they're not that I think how should I say this? Not that I think that Kyle's season is in disarray already. We're only, in the 5th race. However, after he finished 26th in Vegas and 22nd at Phoenix, with multiple bumbles on pit road. That's not the Kyle Busch we're used to. And if he's going to turn it around, I think he has a pretty damn good chance to do it at Bristol. At least that's what I'm hoping for, because this used to be his playground, and he's starting 14th, and he should be able to make it once again his playground. So that's everything I have for my notes here for Bristol. I need to go start work on, or rather, I need to go finish up work on the NASCAR Stone and our projections for everything. And then, of course, I will be in the Discord for any and all questions leading up to our lock time on Sunday afternoon. Just making sure I'm missing anything. Nope, I got all my notes covered. Perfect. All right, everybody. Thank you once again for spending 15 minutes with me. I much appreciate it. I will be in the Discord. Once again, I am TheGame on the SHIPIT Nation Discord. Any questions, please feel free to tag me. And as always, let's have ourselves a Sunday. And of course, let's ship it.